Hello everyone, Jen here today, and I would like to show you my Graphic 45 Let It Snow collection of projects that I have created this month. And I have used virtually everything available in Let It Snow. I've used the chipboards, I've used the collection pack, which comes with the stickers, or they can be purchased separately. There's also the option of the package, which gives you everything that I have here. So like I said, I've used some of the stickers. I've used the journaling cards, the 8x8 collection. As you can see, I don't have a whole lot of that left. I've used the 12x12 patterns and solids and the 12x12 collection pack. I've also used some of the ephemera pack, and I will show you how many pieces. You get a lot of pieces with this, 48 actually. And I love how they give you this little card so that you can see all of the different elements. And what I like to do is I take mine out of the package and I put it in one of these containers and cut this down so I can look at it. And that way when I'm doing my projects, I can see this and know that I have a specific snowflake, for instance, or one of these banner pieces or a clock, and I can just go back in and grab it. And I have also used from Graphic 45, the Graphic 45 artist trading card sized tag, as well as the die that goes with it. And I will show you that. So in addition to the Graphic 45 Let It Snow collection, I have used some Kraft cardstock, some buttons, some different trims and flowers, as well as some pine cones and other elements, some charms. I also did use the new Graphic 45 trim in the blue. This is the stripe here. And then this is the satin navy that I've used here. So for this month, I created several projects as one to show you what you can do with an entire collection. And the first thing I did was I decorated one of the Graphic 45 Kraft Waterfall albums. And that is this piece here. And I will start with it. Now, a while back, I did a Graphic 45 technique tutorial on wrapped chipboard elements. And I will make sure that link is below this video for you. And that just shows you how I wrap pieces of chipboard to lift my focal points on my albums. And I've also done it on my cards. And I've also done it on a couple of my tags. It's just a really nice, clean way to add dimension to an album or other projects. So as I was saying, I've used some buttons from my stash for this. I have a triple matted background on the covers and the spines of this album. And the colors of this Let It Snow collection are just really rich and beautiful, and I love this collection. Here I've created this little charm. I had some charms of snowflakes, a little pearl, a little shaky snow globe in my stash. And then I just took one of the chipboards, this beautiful owl, and I took one of the stickers of Santa and put that on the back and just kind of shaped it around to make it so we had a front and a back. So I'm going to set these cards off to the side for a moment here so I can show you the inside of my album. And I also have a instruction guide on how to decorate this album, how I decorated it. So this is magnetic, and when I open it up, there is a angled pocket. And I've just covered that here with the patterns and solids in the dark blue. And I have done some fussy cutting, as you can see. I love these poinsettias in the collection. So I did quite a bit of fussy cutting of poinsettias for all of my projects. So they all had something that matched really well in addition to the papers matching. And then inside of here, I've lined it in the green from the Patterns and Solids. And I've taken a piece of Kraft cardstock, and this, grab a ruler. The Kraft cardstock backing for this piece measures it 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I've rounded the corners and put, this is almost a whole page of 8 by 8, the main page in there. And then the back is the wording in the Patterns and Solids in the blue. And that just slides in there for photos. I wanted to keep this album somewhat simple and just decorate it. And then if it's given as a gift, it leaves lots of room for people to add whatever they want to add. And then in the 12 by 12, you get this sheet as well. This one is from the 8 by 8, and it's called So Very Merry. And there's lots of cut aparts in here. And I have used those cut aparts throughout all of these projects. This one is from the 12 by 12 sheet. This inner piece here, let me show you the poinsettias here. I have used an iridescent brush called Wink of Stella. It looks like this. And it is this wonderful little brush that you squeeze out a little bit, and then you can just brush it like a paintbrush onto your items. And it doesn't get too wet as long as you keep the brush flowing. And it makes it so that you have this lovely glittery effect. And I really do hope that you can see that in the camera. So on to the next page. This is a stationary photo mount, meaning that it does not come out like this one. I left this one stuck to the page with that navy background. This is a border from the 12 by 12 collection. And this is one of the pieces in the ephemera pack. Then we have our large notched pocket on the inside of the album. And again, I've used some of the ephemera pieces and one of the stickers for that. And I've put a photo mat also on the inside of this. And I will tell you, this is a tighter pocket. So this one measures out to be 6.5 by 6.5. And again, I used Kraft cardstock to make this, rounded the corners, and I've used on the front the green Patterns and Solids with the snowflake background, and the dark blue Patterns and Solids with the larger snowflakes. For this little pull, I've taken a piece of the chipboard collection, and I backed that with some of the same green paper here, and I have used brads to attach that to this. I've also left that. I did not glue this down. That way, if you really wanted to just slip a picture in here that's removable, that can be done. And I liked that option. And that just slides right into that notched pocket nicely and leaves you that little bit sticking up of Santa Claus that can be pulled. For the flip side of the pocket, I chose to use a partial piece of paper from the 8 by 8, one of the borders, and then a partial piece of the red Patterns and Solids. Then we have our waterfalls. We have our horizontal and vertical waterfalls, and these also have a magnetic closure. I've used a little strip here, and then this I have a guide to show how I cut this out so it could be all one piece. And I've left the backs of these Kraft and just taken the Patterns and Solids and alternated them here, and then placed one border on the first page. The band that holds it is decorated with the Patterns and Solids and then a sticker that was put on pattern and solid paper. Same thing with this one. I've used a sticker and the solid paper and just adhered that so that they went. And I also, this is not sticking today. This is also cut a little bit differently than this one, as this one only has one side. This one has two. I will have a cut guide also to show you how I cut this to make it one piece. And again, I have left those blank and alternated. And I just thought it looked nice. I took the patterns and solids that I had, and I cut them out so that I had a solid and a pattern and a solid and a pattern and a solid and a pattern. And I did the same thing over here and just reversed it. I kind of, when I decorated this, I kind of went red, green, blue. I wanted all the colors to be incorporated. So that is my waterfall album decorated. Again, with that beautiful new trim on the front. And I will set this aside and move on to the cards. So I love pocket cards, and they are ones that you can make rather quickly. And also, they're great for giving gifts of money or lottery tickets or gift cards, because they just simply have this fun little simple pocket on the inside that will hold any of those things. And I love that. So these are made mine were made with Kraft cardstock, and this is a 12 by 12 sheet of Kraft cardstock. It is cut to 5 inches by 12, and then I place it on my scoreboard, scored at 5, scored at 10, fold and burnish towards me to make the card, and then that last 2 inches is folded up and burnished, and then it is, once you have this portion here decorated, it is glued along here to make your little pocket. And I like to go back and take some of my scraps and leftovers and make little flags, little tags, and add them. And here's where you see one of those fussy cut poinsettias come in. I've also used some flatback pearls and embossed chipboard snowflakes from my stash. We have that wonderful wrap chipboard technique here, and a little burlap star in the background. And on these cards, I have taken some glossy accent type glue. Actually, I think I actually used glossy accents. And I've glittered them with a heavier glitter glass to make this kind of snow effect. And I really like the way that looks, and I'm hoping you can see. There we go. So that is one of the 6 cards that I created, and I will just show you the rest of these. Now, all of these, except for, nope, all of them have that wrapped chipboard technique on there. They all also have the fussy cutting. And some of them I have used some die cuts as well. One of the borders here. One of the little cut aparts here, and a border. And I've also used a lot of leftovers when I created these, and that's how I came up with this idea to use my scraps. I've seen other people do it. I wanted them to be just this half sheet, and I like that look. So then we have this one, another fussy cut poinsettia. And I also will tell you, all of my cardstock and all of my fussy cuts, chipboards, and papers were inked on the edges with the Vintage Photo Distress ink. Here we have some of those buttons, the wrapped chipboard, again with that glittery glass dust, and the poinsettia. This one here, I made a bar with the wrapped chipboard method. This is just a die cut from my stash. And then we have this wonderful Santa. That snow there. And then we have one left here. And this one has the chipboard snowflake. Merry Christmas on the inside. I love creating pocket cards. They are so much fun. And they're so simple, and you can make them all pretty quickly so that you have a lot to give out. These would be great if you were going to like a party where they exchange several, or you're doing a swap online and you have to exchange several cards at once. These are great. Great idea. So next I did these wonderful ornaments. And I absolutely love the way these turned out. Graphic 45 paper is just amazing, the things that you can do with it. There's so many different things that can be created. And when you have the entire collection like this, it stretches very, very far. I mean, I still have a lot left, and we'll probably make more pocket cards for my family for Christmas, as well as some of my crafty friends. So I do have a lot left. So for these, I have purchased these little MDF 4-inch Christmas ornament blanks from my local craft store. And as you can see, they just have these little things that come out. And I removed the acetate from mine because I did not want that super glossy look. And that is optional. If you get them that have those and want the shinier look, you can do that as well. And like I said, these are 4 inches. They come with this little hanger. It's already screwed in. So you just remove every part of that like I just did before decorating the inside, or excuse me, the outside, the outer edge. And I wanted mine to look like snow. And I did not have any snow paste in my stash. So there is snow paste out there that you can purchase from craft stores. I did not have any, so I used a mixture of mini art stones and glitter and a really white texture paste. And I just mixed that together with a spatula, a little small tool spatula, and I dabbed that on, and then I let it dry. And once that was completely dry to the touch, I added glossy accents with a paintbrush and then an iridescent glitter. And I'm not sure if the camera can pick that iridescence up. And then I heat embossed that, so it gives you that pretty snow look. I've used some red gingham ribbon, some little tiny bell charms, silver bells, which I absolutely love. And then these backgrounds in the 12, I don't think I have another, I can show you in here. I don't have any more of that paper left, but this paper here, you also get this in the 12 by 12, and that is what I cut my circles out of. They were the perfect size to cut out for these ornaments. They're exactly the right size to fit in these, so that's what I used. And then I've got some poinsettias, white poinsettias from my stash, some holly, and underneath, as you can see here, are all these wonderful fussy cut poinsettias from the paper collection. Some sprays of these little berries and pine cones and a little snowflake there, and that wonderful Santa image. And here's this one. These also would make wonderful gifts. I kind of am partial to them. I probably will put them on my own tree. And I love them. So those are the ornaments that I created. And last but not least, I love to make my own gift tags. And a couple of years ago, actually, another designer made some gift tags using Graphic 45 paper that I loved. And now I have made similar ones every year. This year, I kept them a little simpler, using up my scraps and more fussy cuts and some buttons from my stash. I've used some of those cut-aparts from the So Very Merry sheet throughout here, and I have lifted those up with some foam. I also did that same glitter glass technique to make it look like there was snow on my tags. And these are done, again, with the Graphic 45 ATC trading tag size. And I've used the small tag die as well from Graphic 45 to do the backgrounds. So then we have this one. And the backs of these are also done. This one actually, I started adding my to from stickers on them. The rest of them will be added. This one is probably my favorite. And those little birds are just absolutely beautiful. Again, with a little bit of that snow and the back being red. And here's another. Love these little Graphic 45 paper. It bends well, but it doesn't bend so much that you can't elevate your fussy cuts, and I love that. So what I mean by that is if I give this as a gift, I don't have to worry about this paper being so floppy. I can bend this poinsettia, and it's still going to look absolutely beautiful on a package. And here is the last one again of those birds. Now on a couple of these, I did use the chipboards. This one here is one of the chipboards. And like I said, I incorporated a button and that snow effect. And that is my Graphic 45 Let It Snow collection of projects. I hope that I've walked over these good enough and that you enjoyed them. Happy holidays and happy paper crafting. Thanks.